Hey, what's up? It's just Gems. I wanted to share this clip of a video I got off Instagram from a beautiful young lady, a biracial young lady, who is sharing her raw emotions and feelings about how she felt growing up with a white mother. And apparently the black father wasn't in the home. But she just shed some light on the way some of these kids feel and how some black men can get with white women and those white women still have racist views. And this is what she's sharing, but it's also a flip side to that. I saw something recently that I wanted to share about the other part, the black woman and a white man. But let's listen to her clip, and I'm sharing it based on fair use guidelines, and I'll come back with my commentary at the end. Thanks.
I know what mixed baby needs to hear this, but it's okay if you drop your white mom. It is. There are so many white mothers who sit there and they have mixed babies, and then they literally destroy us. My mom, ever since I was little, has been calling black women disgusting and loud and dirty and arrogant and ghetto, and for some reason she fails to realize that I am the same woman that she is talking about. She fails to realize that there is no difference between us. The only difference is the slightly lighter complexion. That's it. Y'all sit here as white women and you have black and brown and Asian children, and then you literally talk about us like we can't hear you. You talk about how we're disgusting and how we leech off the government and how we're not even from America and how we don't even need to have protests for things because everyone's created equal in the first place, but then you date white supremacists and bring them into our own fucking houses. You expect us to be comfortable with your husbands that wear Trump hats, to make fun of everybody's fucking race except your kid because you, for some reason, have the capacity to think that they're different, to think that they are you, when they have never been a part of you in the fucking first place. I don't get how y'all can pretend that your kids don't hear you and then be absolutely baffled when they finally do. And they finally don't want to be around you. So for the kids that have grown up in environments in the exact same that I have, I don't care if you're afraid of not having parents. I'm afraid of having a parent that can't even see who I am when I'm looking them right in the face. And the fact that I don't even have a parent that knows who I am, it's pretty much like having...
Man, honestly, that really tugged at my heartstrings. Every time I look at this clip, you know, I've watched it several times, and you could just feel her pain. And, you know, it's really sad that she has to experience this and that other people do, you know, and just because somebody makes an exception and likes you, it doesn't mean they don't dislike your race, or you know what I'm saying, or different parts of your race. And I've heard this before, you know, and you know, sometimes these white mothers can tend to think that, oh, but you're, you know, they're this, the black people, they're that, they're nasty, they're this, you know what I'm saying, they are wild, they have all of these negative connotations to go with being black. But they look at their own mixed race children as some type of standout, like they're just different. Oh, you're not like them, but them is inside of that kid or those children. They know that they don't look like their mother or their mother's side of the family. Oftentimes they don't. Sometimes you do have some children that do have, you know, the blonde hair, blue eyes, all of it. But a lot of the times the black gene is so dominant that they end up with more black features, and they're seen in the world as a black person. And so they're treated in the world like a fair-skinned black person, or like a black person, period. And then they reconcile that with the things that they've heard their parents say the whole time they were growing up. And this is what is a byproduct of that. This young lady and her feelings says, this kind of speaks to a lot of them, a lot of the biracial children. And it's really sad, and as adults or people, you have to get beyond just oh, well, he's down, she's down, I know they white or whatever, Hispanic, anything other than black. And no, they cool. And they listen to music like we like, and yeah, they cool. You got to get beyond that before you go having children with people. You really need to get beyond the surface and just see what they're really about, how they really feel about your race of people. Are they going to treat your children different? Are their parents going to treat your children different if you were to have some? Do they have racist views on different situations? You really need to get in tune with who this person truly is on the inside before you procreate with them. It's not all about, like you just magically fall in love with people. You have to spend some sort of time with them before you fall in love. And while you're doing that, vet them and see what are their views about black people in general, not just about you. Yeah, they might make an exception, they might love you, but that doesn't mean the way that they look at your people is the same. And that brings me to what I was going to say also about a TV show I was watching, and I just looked up and it was on the other night. Family versus Fiance, I believe it is, on OWN. Well, it was a black lady in a black family, and her fiance, he looked, he was white, but I'm not sure if he was Italian or Persian or something, but he wasn't black, and he was an older guy. And they were going back and forth because they had a lot of problems in their relationship, and she wanted kids with this man and he didn't want kids. He had like a grown son who was not mixed. He was a white boy or whatever, but she wanted children with this man, and she was upset about it. And he was like, he didn't want to lead her on, and she resent him one day. But they get into it, and the black lady that was trying to marry him says, you called me the N-word that time, and you've done this, that, and the other. And then he denies it and just makes her seem like she's a liar by saying, no, I didn't. And she's like, yes, you did. You did. Like, in my mind, why would you be up here arguing with this man? And at that point, they were still trying to figure out if they were going to be engaged and go ahead and get married or what. But in your right mind, why would you want to be with somebody who has called you the N-word? Look, there's nothing good that could come from that. That's how he saw you. And the lady actually was upset. She really wanted to have a baby with this man. Why would you want to have a baby with somebody who has already called you a derogatory term such as that? You want him to have a baby so he could look at that baby and say the same thing when the baby or when the child grows up and does something wrong, he calls them an N-word. So people, we really, people just have to get it together and think beyond surface level. Think beyond just emotions, raw emotions. Think about what this truly means, who this person is, what are their morals and values, who are they, how do they see you, how do they see your people, because otherwise you end up bringing a baby in this world and they grow up and have these type of feelings like this young lady on the video. And hopefully she gets the help she needs to get through this, because she really does seem like, very traumatized by the actions of her mother. But I appreciate you listening, and I hope you have subscribed to the page. If not, please do so, and make sure you hit that like button. It's important. I appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.